Hi everyone! Welcome to another episode of Nathan's 3D Factory. In this episode, we're going to do a continuation of the last one where we appended these objects. So I just wanted to show the basics of how to append objects that we already used in another scene to make them so that we could put them into this scene. And then we did a couple of alterations to them as well. But now what we're going to do is we're going to add text to these objects. So first, what I want to do is I want to do Shift S and I want to do cursor to selected. Okay, and actually I want to go up on this and put cursor to selected here. Select out of that, tab out of edit mode. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some text. Then I can adjust it here according to how big I want this. We'll try 20 for the height. We can always adjust later once we have this going. Okay, now what I can do is I can go into alignment. I want to change it to center. Okay, and now we also have these items where we can do top baseline, middle, bottom baseline. So we have a few of them. And again, we can also like adjust these as we get them. I think I'm going to do middle for that. And then I'm going to do multi-line stuff here, okay? And then we can also adjust the font style. So we go here. Okay. Now, what we can do is we can use any standard fonts that we have available in our Windows font library, okay? Okay, and I'm just going to go down the list. I'm going to look up a font that I want, and then we'll just go with that, okay? So, I did another one before, and I don't remember exactly which font it was. So, let's see. I'll go down this. I want to say it was something like Times New Roman or something like that. You got a bunch of them that you can do. I mean, it's pretty cool stuff, you know? And actually, I think it was Rockwell. That's what it was when I was doing it. So let's see. Let's look up the Rockwell. I want the Rockwell bold. There we go. Okay. And then we can just tab into edit mode, and it's as simple as typing things. So I have someone that I'm doing this for. Suzanne is not friendly. Actually, we'll put friendly here. Okay, and remember I said we can adjust this, right? So, I can take the size down. So instead, maybe it's 18. Let's see how that works. Okay. And then what I can do is I can adjust the vertical position here. And I can even adjust my lines, right? Okay. I think I like the spacing like this. Okay. But I do want to move it up, so I'm going to do GY think I'll take it up 10. Let's see how that works. Okay, that looks good to me. Okay. And then I want to look at the distance between these guys here. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to copy this 80 units to this direction over here. Okay. I'll do Shift D, Y, negative 80. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to have to take this down a little bit. G, Y, negative 10. Now, I do have a problem with this because this space right here is going to be fitting into this groove. So, if I look at this, here's the minimum space I need and then a little extra, right? So I'm going to measure this. I need at least 6 millimeters. So I'm saying that we're going to need at least 8 millimeters down below the text here. So what I can do as well is that I can take line spacing and do that. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? G, Y. Let's see what happens if I put it up 10. Not quite. Okay, so I put it up 6. Let's do another measurement right here to see how we're looking on this spacing, okay? Right here, we see 13. So I think we should be good with that spacing right there. So, now that we have that, what we can do is that we can take these and we can extrude them now. But before we do that extrusion, I do have to say I like to use the solidify modifier, but solidify is not exactly the nicest with actual text objects. So this is something that I've been finding with trial and error. So if we were to look at the topology on these things right now, if we do wireframe, you see a bunch of funky geometry right here. These aren't exactly the nicest to solidify modifier. They do some really nasty stuff, and I'm going to show you in a second just why. So we're going to say solidify. Okay. So just give it this here. And already you can see that there are these weird peaks and things going on, right? So, and if we were to take it so it's offset of 1 instead of negative 1. Okay. You get these things sticking out the bottom. We don't want that. So next thing that I'll do, well, I also want to measure this, and I want to make the text the same height as that. That shows 7, so we want to do 7 or less. So I think I'm good with doing it at a height of 7 right there. So you get that. There's a little bit of change, but you still have these unpredictable results as you're doing the solidify modifier. So another thing I looked at as well is, can we do a decimate or a retopo? And this one we want to put at the top of the stack here. Let's see, and it was not decimate, because decimate will take it so that it just reduces the number of polys count. So we could say 0.5. Yeah, it looks pretty cool there. But again, you still get those unpredictable results. So that is one way that you handle problems with retopologizing things, right? So there's also another one, retopo. Let's see. Topo. Let's see. Oh, remesh. It's not retopo. Okay. This one takes a little longer, but what's real nice is that now you have this voxel that's going with it, right? We also want this so this is above. Now, one thing that gets to be a problem is now you're seeing that it's extruding in a bunch of weird directions here still. Still not quite what we want. If we were to do even thickness, well, that's great. Now we have even thickness, but again, this is a problem. So what I ended up finding was that to correct the problems with this, I just had to convert this to a mesh, okay? So what we're going to do then is that we're going to take this. We'll actually keep the remesh, okay? So, and I want to keep it to where the voxel size is going to be pretty small on this. So you'll notice that we do a voxel method. You do blocks, but honestly, the best method I found was voxel. Let me know in the comments if you found any other better ways that I haven't seen, okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a convert to mesh. Because now I'm happy with the results here. So we'll do convert to mesh. And then we're going to solidify. Okay, and we're going to do 7. And we want this in an offset of 1. Now, one thing that I don't like about this is that it's still doing that weird, awkward stuff, right? And even if we do even thickness, not so good, right? So what we can do is we can say normals. We want to get all these, and we want to have them all facing the same direction, and we want to get rid of any doubles, too. So what we'll do is we'll say merge by distance. So that's the first thing. And already you can see some improvement. And I also want to have all of them shift N facing the exact same direction, which it looks like we've got. Then I also want to flip those normals there. Let's see, if I go to F3, flip normals, that would be Alt N. So, lesson learned there. Okay. So now, we have that as solid. Okay. Okay, now we'll try this one. So we're going to do the remesh again. We're going to convert this to a mesh. Then we're going to solidify. Okay. Once again, you got that funky stuff that's going there. And Suzanne would definitely not be friendly to this. I wouldn't be. Okay, and I can't see the vertices right now. Okay, there we go. Now, we're going to do M, merge by distance. Okay, and we'll do Shift N, so all the normals are together. Alt N, flip. Okay. So now we have our text exactly as we want it. We don't have any unpredictable results. Did we have to go through something where we had to get everything all edited beforehand? Yes, we did. So this is one of those things where you have to edit beforehand. So it's like, okay, so now I have my content where it needs to be. I'm happy with that. And so what I can do then is say, now that I've got that so that it's exactly what I want, I can convert it to a mesh so that it gives me predictable results. Have it so it's remeshed and I know exactly what it's doing. So now that we have that, what we can do is we can save these, and then we can turn this into a 3D printable object. So that's what I'm going to do here. So that is how you add the text to the object, and you do it in a way that's going to make it predictable. You know what's going to do. So let me know what you think of this episode of Nathan's 3D Factory. I hope that you enjoyed this, and let me know in the comments below if you've found things that I haven't found, and when you've been working with mesh objects and text objects. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Also, check out my website, nathans3dfactory.com. I'm also selling objects so that I can keep funding this channel, and so your support means a huge amount to me. Make sure you put like, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching Nathan's 3D Factory. Have a great day, guys.